No mistake for the fact that we got like mountains of stone to construct. And here's the thing: Lou was so brutal to their bearers. You know, they were so brutal to their bearers. If they made one mistake or something like that, that was it. That was lights out. So if they dropped something, or if it didn't function well, or the bridges didn't function well, I will say it's smart he put all the Stone Kingdom on water instead of land, because then it would sink. It'd be like Dark Souls 2 with the Iron Keep, or the Iron Castle got, was so heavy on the earth, the foundation cracked so badly, it turned into a volcanic castle. So I will say Barnabas is smart for doing it, but it's the fact that the thing is, Barnabas had the most gorgeous looking kingdom. I mean, this is before the Akashki. But because his blind belief in his God, he turned into that. It's like you have a much better looking castle and everything. All the labor and materials it took to make the whole thing, nothing but iron. Nothing but iron. I bet you even the bathrooms have iron. Everything has iron. And stone. It's just like the labor, the time, the money, and everything. That means Waloed was once a nice looking kingdom. To Barnabas had to lose his shit. I got a theory. And this might spoil Final Fantasy 16 to other people. Might. Of course, I haven't got to the end yet, so I don't even know if it's true or not. I think she's Leviathan. Because Leviathan is the lost dominant, according to Josh. Because they put her in so many scenes, but she's just a mysterious medicine girl. I think what's going to happen is going to be many, many years after Clive, and she's a grown woman, and you're going to find out that Ultima made a new body, and it's coming back. And it's going to be like Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. It's going to be like Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, okay? You know, where Sephiroth came back in a new body, and Cloud had to beat him one more time. That's what's going to happen. Ultima's going to come in a new body in this DLC. She's going to have to activate her dominant power. She's going to have to activate her dominant power and turn into Leviathan to beat the new body of Ultima. Because Ultima's not going to have his full strength. After the battle he has with Clive, eventual battle, he's not going to have his full strength. It's going to be half. Like I said, it's going to be like Avid Children. But this will be a DLC. It's not a new game. This is going to be like Avid Children. Because Ultima will probably not die. He'll find a way to recreate his body. It's Final Fantasy. They always find some way to... They always come back. I had to use that William Afton line, but you get the point. She's a grown woman, and she activates her power as a dominant Leviathan. Beats Ultima once and for all. And actually, this time, even gets to a point where she destroys the consciousness of Ultima. So Ultima's gone. Like, complete gone. No way of coming back. And it'll be her. It'll be Kia Hayel or whatever it is, Keel. But she's going to be important. That's all I got. I want to talk about Sid. I'm going to make this video for only lore heads. This is only for lore heads only. There's not going to be no action, no gameplay. But I think we need to have a prequel game. We need to have like a Crisis Core type of situation. Of course, Sid doesn't die, obviously. But, where it tells his story when he was working under the Kingdom of Waloed. Like, this is when he was still loyal to Waloed until he got disillusioned. All the way till he gets disillusioned. Then he has to fight Barnabas. He gets beat by Barnabas, so he starts to have to form the hideaway, save bearers, and go through that. And then get to a point where your last mission is to go save Clive, like you did after Clive turns on Sambrick. And the reason why I say that's going to be a most possibility with Sid's DLC, if they or a prequel game, and if they're not going to do a prequel game, at least make some books. We need some books. We need some more lore. People are hungry for lore. We don't want to just read these text boxes just to people. We like to come up with theories. I'm a theorist, you know that. His whole story is how he joined up with Malou, did some wars, fighting, along Waloo. Maybe, fought the before dominant of Bahamut, because like many years before. But then they get to a point where him and Barnabas falls out, and like pretty much one of the big bosses is Barnabas himself, and they fight in their dominant form. So it's Ramu versus Odin, but Odin kicks his ass, and then he has to form the Hideaway and start getting people to rally behind his cause. Benedictus stays behind because Benedictus is too loyal to Barnabas. But and then Sid's DLC will end when he saves Clive. Alongside Sid, I think the company character was Sid, at least the beginning part of episode Sid, would, like how it is with Jill and Clive, she's going to be Sid's Jill until Sid betrays Waloed. So you get to have her in a party, but of course you won't get to play as her. That's the only thing I would be honest with this game, I didn't really appreciate. I wish you could switch to other characters. This is what Rebirth's going to do. FS7 Rebirth's going to do better than 16 in. But maybe they'll change it up for this DLC, and you could play as Benedicta for the time you have her. So you're going to see young Benedicta's story and how she how she came, to join Waloed and Sid, because it was Sid who saved her, which is very funny that after Sid leaves and betrays, she stays with Barnabas when it was Sid that saved her. But I want a full story of that too. Of course, episode Sid, or book, or prequel game, or whatever Square Enix wants to do. I doubt that's going to happen because this game didn't do so well, but I don't want to talk about that because I'm going to keep ranting on the Final Basis fan base if I keep talking about that stuff. Besides her being a baddie, besides Edda being a baddie, and she is a baddie, make no mistake, she's going to be very important. She's going to be a little bit older, of course, because it's many years, and she's going to, help Kyle. I think Gav and old Gav and old Edda with, they're grown up. I think it's going to be a son. The son's going to be her son. I'm going to assume son. Maybe it's going to be daughter. I don't know. But her kid, whoever it is going to be the company character of Kyle to defeat Ultima's second body and the future DLC. But you'll see Edda, and obviously you're going to see Gab. But they'll be real old. And their kid will be grown up because, again, Leviathan will be grown up because Kyle has to be Leviathan. Has to be, 100%. As for Luber, I think he's going to become even way more important. This time he will be the king of Dalmatia. He'll upgrade from a mayor to a king. He'll be older, of course. In fact, he'll probably look like Street Fighter 6's Dhalsim with a big giant beard, a little old, obviously old with a turban like that. He's gonna be that, but he's gonna be the king of Dalmatia. He's gonna take Hugo Kupka's place on that. Of course, he'll never be a dominant because I think the dominants are gone at that point. But still, except for Leviathan. But in episode Leviathan, I could picture him being the new king of Dalmatia.
What can I do for my favorite nephew?
Okay, yeah.
Thank you. As for Dad, do you know? 'Twas not 20-something. Your mother.
Yeah, this is the thing I wanted to read because this goes into the lore. The thing is, Uncle Byron never messed with Queen Annabelle like that. She never messed with Queen Annabelle like that.
But above all,
You know.
and so you see,
But you know, and I respect Elwyn, but at least, but here's the thing. Even though it's been done and over
that's
with,
my
and they've been
boy.
married, she had a kid, and that's Josh. You get the point. But at least Elwyn finally understands that Annabella is not his girl, even though he married her. This goes back to my whole, have some self-respect thing. Now it's too late because he's married and he had married and have had kids with her, so it's a Jada Pinkett Smith type of deal going on with Elrin. So it's far too late. But for any people who need to take something from any of my lore videos, get some self-respect. The minute she has some betrayal demons inside of her, leave. Get out of that. You know, don't stay with it. You don't have to. Unless you got her pregnant. Just don't. Just leave. Get out of there. That's the thing with Queen Annabella.